Okay, great to see you and to see you play today. What do you think about the ban on women's football that happened 100 years ago?
Well, obviously it was a horrible thing that happened, a tragedy, and I also think the reason it happened was not because it was unsuitable for women, but because it was seen as a threat to something that was the normal, the standard, to have women being that successful and being that out there and that popular was seen as a bit of a threat.
And how important do you reckon it is to have women playing in the community or in local communities?
I think it's massively important. Actually, me and a few other people from the women's team, we train now young girls in the middle of our community. And the way that they light up when they realise that adults around them still play football. It might not be for the top flight clubs, but we still play football every week. We are seen as massive role models, and it's incredibly important that we are visible and that we are there to continue to support them and to kind of show them there is a road into football beyond PE or school teams.
And how important do you reckon fan ownership is in football, but particularly to women's football, to be supporting women's teams and creating women's teams and pathways?
Having played for quite a few teams before, the women's side have always been seen as secondary, as you probably should have one, but it's never given or hasn't ever been given as much support or as much in financial terms or in terms of visibility either. The way that we've got it now with fan ownership, everything is absolutely equal, and being part of it, being a member, being a part owner of this club, I also have a massive say in how it's formed, which means that I can fight for a women's development team, which we did last season. I can fight for a girl and a non-binary young people session in a very diverse community where there are not a lot of free or pay what you can opportunities for young girls and young non-binary people. So being part of a fan-owned club, I get to decide that happens. I get to decide that this is what we're going to spend our resources, our energy, our commitment to, and it happens. We've got that.
And what if in the next 10 years, or somebody said tomorrow, what would the one misconception be that you'd want to get rid of out of women's football that people think about the game?
I think it's just to stop comparing us to men, to stop thinking that because it's not the same speed, the same strength, that it is less skill, that there is less technique, that there is less knowledge about football, that we only like football to attract someone else, that we lack the knowledge, we lack the skills of football just because we're women. That's basically it.